What's going on, guys? Video number 3 here. Today we're going to be talking a hand that I played with Mr. Johnnie Vibes. If you've ever seen him on YouTube, look him up. We played a hand together about 2 years ago, and he actually sent me the recording he have of it. So I wanted to learn how to put that into my videos. So I'm going to be putting his recording in my video, and then we're going to talk about that. And then also an interesting hand that I played just the other night. I haven't been playing a ton lately. Been running bad, playing bad. I'll probably talk about that later on swings and how horrible I am at dealing with the swings. But yeah, we had an extra day off of work here to celebrate old George Washington and Abraham Lincoln and people like that. So figured I'd get in here and we'd talk about poker to celebrate. So let's get into it. All right, so here we are. My hand with Johnnie Vibes. This hand takes place at a 2-5 game in El Paso, Texas. I've got about $600, $700 in front of me. Johnny's got about $1,000 in front of him. And we play this hand out. I'm gonna let him introduce the hand, and then he'll show what's going on here, and then we're gonna talk about it. So let's see what happens.
This is really tough. All right, so we had a hero play. You want to see what I got? No, I didn't call yet. This guy folded. I bet 175. That's
All right, there's the flop and turn. I actually have King 5 of hearts in my hand. So this will be a good representation of what good players, like Johnny's going to talk about what he's thinking about here, and average players such as me, and what's going on. So listen to what his mentality is. He actually has King Jack with the Jack of Spades here. So here we go.
board. That's what we got. I actually don't like having that card in my hand.
All right, so he says he doesn't like having the Jack of Spades in his hand because that blocks a lot of stuff that he wants me to have here. Because I'm currently all in. When the turn came, that gave me 2 pair. So he bet out 200. I think you can see out there in front of him, and I shoved all in for my $600, $700, whatever it is. So he's decided whether he wants to call or not. And he looks at, he's got the Jack of Spades, so that blocks a lot of flush draws, Ace Jack of Spades, Queen Jack of Spades I could have here. A lot of straight draws with the Queen Jack he wants me to have here. So that's why he doesn't like the Jack of Spades. Notice he never even discusses the thought of me having King 5 here. Because to a good player, I should not have King 5 here because it was a raised pot pre-flop, but I mean, you're playing with Johnnie Vibes, you got to get it in with the King 5 suited from time to time. So let's continue listening to see what he's thinking.
Yeah, there's 6 players.
I have a really bad card. But like this guy right here, he's just not very believable looking.
Look, it's me.
There's no face equity.
I still have no face equity.
I'm just gonna call because
Fuck.
I like it.
All right, so when he
I have a
called,
pair.
I said fuck because I thought he had the nut flush draw.
Oh, really? You have me?
Oh, I missed it.
I guess you don't have spades then if you got King Jack.
Ah, he turned it. Yep. We did not have the winner.
So I show him the King 5 of hearts there for a turn 2 pair. The river runs out and I hold. But you could just tell that he's a little shocked here that I woke up with the King 5 of hearts.
Nice hand. See, he was believable.
I flop a king with a turd
River,
diamond.
6 of spades. How much?
Yeah, I would
75
have.
more.
All right, so that's my Johnnie Vibes video right there. It just shows the progression between a good player, what he's thinking about blockers and stuff like that, and then just the average player that most of us are going to run into with just random 2 cards there. Now looking back, I do not think that's a good call from Johnny there in this spot. But he did already have 200 invested, so it was already another 400 to win a good sized pot. So maybe that came into it too. But uh, it, I think the wild swings like that is something that a lot of us see in our average poker games that he was, as a professional poker player, wasn't used to. All right, guys, so here is another hand I just played the other night. Interesting hand, something that we all get in spots with, and I'll show you how I navigate these spots, and then you can take it maybe into your game too. So this is actually a 2-5 game I played the other night. Uh, so what's interesting about this hand is we're first to act here, and we wake up with pocket kings. Now conventional wisdom here is saying you got to raise it with your kings, you got to build a pot. But in this game that I'm currently playing right now, it's a very loose game. So people are calling with a lot of hands, like 9-10 offsuit, 5 deuce suited, stuff like that. So if I raise here in early position, make it $20 or so, it's a high likelihood I get 4, 5, 6 callers in this game. Now you don't want to take your pocket kings 6-handed. So in a game like this, when I get my kings in early position, the worst place to have kings, I usually limp, and I'm relying on the table to do the raising for me. And it just so happens in this hand, another weird thing, the guy directly to my left, who's going to be my nemesis in this hand, before I even act, he thinks it's on him, and he throws out a raise for 25. So I know now if I just limp, that action stands, and I already know that hopefully I could just get heads up with this guy. So I see him throw out the 25. The dealer's like, "Sir, it's not your turn yet." But I'm like, "Oh no, it's okay. I'll just call." So I try to disguise my hand a little bit there. I limped. His $25 stood, and then it goes around the table, and there's actually 4 callers to his 25. So that's $100 in the pot already before I even act, right? So it comes to me, I've only got $400 in front of me. So I want to pick up that easy $100 here without even seeing a flop or anything. So I just shove it all in with my kings. So the guy next to me thinks about it for a while, and he calls. Everybody else folds. So this is exactly what you want with kings. You want to be heads up, and if he's got aces, he's got aces, and we call it a day. But you want to be heads up here. So the flop at a turn and river actually runs out pretty good for our kings. And he actually doesn't show at the time, but he tells me later on that he had jacks. So I thought this was an interesting spot just because I think most players, when they see the kings, you're really playing position here. Now, if you get kings on the button, obviously you're raising it no matter what, or 3-betting it no matter what. But first position is weird because if you open the action, there's still those 8 players behind you that can just call, or it's not likely you get 3-bet. So I like to isolate as much as possible with this hand. So that's why I limped and then just limp shoved. And it actually worked out in this hand. And we pretty much double up right here. So good spot for us here. And we take down the pot. All right, guys, so that's what I got for you today. A couple hands for you, and we're learning how to put video into our video. And I don't know if you noticed, I had a couple transitions in there, too. We're getting better at it. So next time, I think I'm going to talk about some running bad, playing bad, and just getting unlucky, and then how I deal with it, which is not well, how I probably should deal with it. But, yeah, we hope to see you guys next time in video number 4.